So this is lesson number 2, practicing the Stoic money mindset, module number 2, wealth. Let's start off with the quote. Do you ask what the proper limit to wealth is? It is, first, to have what is necessary, and second, to have what is enough. And I want to build on top of the last topic that we talked about in the prior lesson. We want to talk about the concept of enough, and really that is the essence of the Stoic mindset, or the Stoic money mindset, I should say. In this lesson, we will understand the Stoic philosophy's perspective on cultivating a healthy attitude towards money. We'll learn how to define financial goals based on individual values and priorities, practice gratitude for financial resources and opportunities as a means of fostering a positive money mindset, and use the golden mean to stay in balance is really my favorite topic. Okay. Cultivating a healthy attitude towards money using Stoic philosophy. So the Stoics believe that money should not be the sole focus of our lives, but rather a tool to achieve our goals and live a fulfilling life. And by cultivating a healthy attitude towards money, we can use it as a means to an end rather than an end in itself. And finally, to accomplish all the above things, focus on the golden mean. So, money is a tool, and earlier we talked about, okay, want to have a fulfilling life, and financial stability is a tool. If we have financial stability, it's much easier for us to operate in life. And that's a given, everyone knows it. And yet, a lot of us, we don't have a real a strategy or a way of life to make sure that it happens. This is why we talked about our spending habits in the previous lesson. Here's another topic that will help you to manage your spending, and it's called the golden mean. Probably you've heard of it. Um, Aristotle talked about it too, but the Stoics talked about it as well. And in fact, Stoicism is a philosophy of the golden mean. It is in between Epicureanism and Cynicism. So the Cynics um, were quite different than the word cynic, but the Cynics, their philosophy was similar to the Stoics, as in, okay, train yourself, in, experience hardship, stay away from pleasure, focus on what you control. But life is suffering, and you need to always harden yourself so you can endure the suffering. That was the Cynics' approach. Epicureanism was also like life is hard, but to make sure that you have a good life, you must not endure and like only do hard things. You must find pleasure as an antidote to life. So Epicureanism was about seeking pleasure as a way to enjoy life and make life easy and good. Now, Epicureanism was also at the same time also about focusing on values, living a simple life, practical life, but they didn't. They walked towards pleasure. They approved it. Now the Stoics were really in the middle, where they said, okay, we need to train, but we also don't have to walk away from pleasure. It's fine if it is not harming us. Okay, so here the golden mean. If we apply that same analogy or same line of thinking to money, we should focus on enough. And the beauty of enough is that it will help you to stay in balance, because this is kind of the relationship between money and greed. The more money you have, and I'll use my mouse here. So if you have, if what generally happens is that the more money people have and want to have, the more greedy they get. They get more money, they want even more. But on the other side, if you have no money at all and if you have very little money, you are also greedy because you want money because you don't have any money. Okay, but in the middle, there is a point, and for everyone that point is different, but there is a point where you have money, so you're not starving, so you have money, and you have enough of it. And that's what this location is, what this place, and this is where you want to be. You want to be right here in the middle. Here's an exercise that helps you to get more in the middle by practicing gratitude for your financial situation. There's something, it's an ongoing process, an ongoing exercise. Always, I always do this. Um, so here's what it looks like. Take a moment to reflect on the financial resources and opportunities you have in your life. Regularly meditate on the money that you have earned in the past, you have on your savings account, you have potentially in investments. Doesn't matter how small or big it is. Takes a moment to appreciate that you have it, because no matter where you are in life, if you are watching this on your iPhone or on your Mac or your uh, Windows laptop or Android or whatever it is, doesn't matter. Like, you have a device, you're looking at it. There are still people in the world who don't have like solid or consistent internet or a real device to consume things on. People who have no money at all, who live on $1 or $2 a day. So recognizing that you have not only financially, you don't have money, but also opportunities, financial opportunities. If you live in a free country, or if you live in a country that has a decent economy, I'm not even talking about like most of my readers and listeners, they're either in the US or in one of the European countries or in Canada or Australia. We have strong economies with a lot of jobs. And in fact, many countries across the world with decent economies have um, jobs available. Those financial opportunities are not everywhere. For us, it might seem that way because there are always job openings, but it's not like that in every single country. There's still a lot of, this is why there's a lot of migration. People want what you have. Okay, so be aware of that as you go through life. You don't have to think about it every single second, but it is a fact. It is something that we as Stoics remind ourselves of. And then we practice gratitude for the resources and opportunities that we have. And we recognize that they are not guaranteed and that many people do not have access to them. We are lucky if we live in an economy that is doing well, or we live in a country with an economy that is doing well. By practicing gratitude, you can cultivate a positive and healthy attitude towards money. You will be more appreciative of what you have versus being more greedy, focusing what you don't have. And that is the default mindset, I think, of all people currently who are not satisfied with their finances, because they look at what they don't have. They see all of the flashy and luxury things that people have, and they think, why don't I have a, you know, $200,000 car or a $1 million mansion? Why? Right? So they look at the things they don't have instead of looking at what they do have. And I know it's very corny and it's very difficult, but we must do it. Okay. It's a much better place to improve yourself from, from that mindset than to always be greedy and needy and always want something you don't have. If you, and so the reason I'm sharing all these things, right, is not to say, oh, just stay there, stay where you are, right? No, no, no. That's not the point. The point is that your mindset is one of gratitude and of enough. Now, from that point, start operating, because if you have all of if you have all of these mindset shifts that I talk about in this course, you'll feel much better. You'll be more confident. You have more energy. You can spend all the time and energy on improving yourself, your skills. You can save. You can invest. You can get better job opportunities. Start boosting your income, and then I guarantee you'll achieve more in life compared to when you are always tired and you want and you like feel jealous and you don't feel good about yourself, you don't like your life, all of these things, not helpful, right? So it's really important to apply this exercise. And then finally, I have another exercise for you, and that is define your financial goals. And this is related to what I just said earlier, where you want to go, right? Maybe you have, not maybe, you should have some financial goals. You should have some goals in life, things that you work towards and aspire to become. So define your financial goals based on your values and priorities, obviously focusing on what you control. So this might include saving for a home, paying off debt, or investing in your education. And by defining your goals, you can use money as a tool to achieve them rather than focusing solely on accumulating wealth. So this exercise, again, I would pull out my journal and start writing about this. Define your financial goals related to what you control. Okay. So write about how much money you want to save every month, how much money you want to allocate to paying off your debt, how much money you want to allocate to investing. And obviously, you don't have to do all of these things at the same time. You can start with paying off debt, then start saving, then start investing. And then also how much you want to spend on investing in yourself. Avoid thinking about, oh, I want to have a promotion. I want to increase my income. Don't think about outcomes. Think about the things that lead to the outcomes. And this is, I think, the secret to career success is if you focus on the outcome, you start, you know, thinking about the wrong things. If you take a step back and think, okay, leads to a winning outcome? What leads to success? What leads to more income? It's value, it's knowledge, it's skills, it's diligently saving, it's investing, it's in not only in your bank account but also in yourself. So when I say define your financial goals, work on those things that you really control. And I know we talked about this in the beginning where we said focus on what you control. But I think this reminder is very helpful because when it comes to financial goals, most of us forget. We start thinking about, oh, I want to make so much money. We start thinking about the outcomes. It's not helpful. So really force yourself to think about the financial goals that you fully control, and then you will start making much more progress.